Hi guys, welcome back. So Wales win 40 points to 24. In the end, a big win. It was actually really close for a lot of the game, but Wales deserve this win. A lot tidier, a lot cleaner. England at times look quite good, but also at times look very ragged. And to be honest, I'm an England fan, but the thing is, they didn't deserve to win this game, and hopefully it will open Eddie's eyes to what we've all been saying for quite a while now. So it could actually be a good thing for them. For Wales, they move on. They're moving towards the Grand Slam. There was some controversy in their last two games. There is a bit of controversy in this game too, but they definitely deserve the win against 15 men. And remember, Wales fans, 2 games to go for the Grand Slam. One's against Italy, which you should win because Italy are not looking great. So it's 1 win potentially away from a Grand Slam. Who'd have predicted that at the beginning of the tournament? So let's get into this game because there's plenty to talk about. England-Wales, this game was probably low on quality but high on drama. Atoje had a real mixed bag of a game. He does some things great and then he gives away some terrible penalties. But, if he stops trying, then I guess you say it takes away from the sort of player he is. But anyway, he gets a good charge down, nearly scores from it, actually. Liam Williams just instinctively knows where to be, gets the cover in. Liam Williams looked good at fullback, did make a few mistakes, but he is a natural fullback, really good player. England start giving away some penalties, sloppy at the breakdown, and penalties were a massive problem for England the whole game. Some unlucky, some definitely not unlucky. They just don't deserve to win when they're this untidy, if you like. Anyway, on 8 minutes, nice counter-attack from Daly, some big holes in the Welsh ruck defence, and Youngs goes straight through. England did make some good attacks. When Youngs went through, I just thought again just how slow he looks now compared to what he was when he was younger. It's a bit painful. I just think it's time to move on to a quicker scrum half, essentially. He didn't have a bad game. He's just slow. Anyway, England win a penalty from that attack. It is 3-3. Atoje then does something good. An excellent scrag on Hardy. But then he does something bad and plays the ball on the ground. So like I said, a real mixed bag for him. Wales on 14 minutes have a 22 in a good line-out position. Another penalty infringement from England. They get into a good place and they got a penalty with an easy shot at the post. Now, what exactly happened here, I couldn't quite work out. It sounded like the ref wanted to give England some time to organise or talk to their team or something. But then Bigger takes the penalty quick. Adams is out in the wing. Watson's drifted in to chat to the team. So it sounds like they think they've got time to chat, but they haven't. The ref goes, I gave you time, did he? I'm not so sure. But anyway, good try, Adams. Good spot, worth a go, even if the ref didn't give it. But Adams scores 10-3, and you're starting to think, this isn't looking so good for England. And while England were pretty unlucky, I think, with some of those penalties in the first half. Some not, some so, but the ref was kind of consistent, and he did penalise Wales a lot as well. There was so much whistling in this game. I'm not a massive fan of French referees, to be honest. Just the inconsistency. And again, today, it's just a bit baffling sometimes. But anyway, neither team's looking great. It's very messy. And I wrote a note here that whoever stops giving away penalties probably wins the game. And that certainly had a lot to do with it. Wales still a good line-out. Easy read on 25 minutes. England are actually quite unlucky again on 27 minutes. The ball's completely out of a ruck, but the ref gives an offside. So, that's certainly some tough breaks there in that first half. I think certainly frustrated England a bit. But anyway, on 28 minutes, Wales' best attack of the game, working space really nicely on the right-hand side, then back to the left. The pass goes to Reece Samet, bit behind him. Reece Samet, there's no chance of catching it, but kind of knocks it forward onto his leg, and then it carries on going forward, in my view. Didn't have any control, wasn't trying to catch it. Looked like a huge knock-on to me. Reece Samet thought it was a huge knock-on. Everyone thought it was a huge knock-on, apart from the ref. But the ref checks, and then the TMO checks it, and again thinks there's no knock-on. It seems Let me know in the comments. I may have got this completely wrong. It just seemed like a huge knock on to me. It didn't look like he had any control of it, and it looked like it went forward pretty much at any point, every point. Even when it hit his leg, the momentum of the ball was still going forward. But it just seemed a bit bonkers to me. Anyway, try 17-6. England actually get back into the game. They work the ball nicely to the left, but Daly drops the ball. Just inexplicably drops the ball. He does this a couple of times. He's had poor games. Just must drop Daly. I mean, really, he's not doing it at the moment. A lot of the Saracens players, not really doing it. Although, being said, I thought Vunipola actually had easily his best game of the championship. Did make some big carries. I still think there's better rates out there in England. Anyway, we'll get into that at the end. Real bad quality of match at the moment. All about the referee. England get a line out, 15 metres out. The actual setup of the maul is awful. It takes a long time, but they get into their carries. Big carry from Sinclair. Then they have it's like a 5-on-3 out to the right. And a nice finish from Watson again, stepping in to finish. So, and then we get a penalty. Ford's fizzing some passes in the face of Wales' defence, causing real problems. Slade goes clear, but Rees-Zammit covers very nicely, and my goodness me, Rees-Zammit and George North, I thought, scrambled defence was brilliant. The pace to get out from 13 from North and tracking back from Rees-Zammit was outstanding. I think Rees-Zammit showed up Johnny May quite a few times, to be honest, and if there's a direct comparison with Warren Gatland watching that game, you'd take Rees-Zammit. Anyway, England's chase for their own kicks also seemed very poor. I couldn't see them getting up and competing like they have done in previous years. But their tackling was decent. Some powerful tackles, knocking players back. They get a penalty 45 metres out. Definitely on the edge of Farrell's range. But Farrell's just very confident. But really, this is where his common sense should come in and give the penalty to Daly. Farrell doesn't get anywhere near getting the penalty. That's a bad choice, I think. Bigger goes off again, which is interesting. I think it was injury this time rather than performance, but still, Sheedy makes a difference coming on. Come on, Sheedy's your number one now, surely. Especially, I was questioning his goal kicking last time out. Had a much better goal kicking ratio this time out. Anyway, on 48 minutes, really, really stupid penalty from Hill. He kind of rucks through and then deliberately whacks the ball away. It's just stupid. And then Hardy, very cleverly, quick tap penalty. England, especially Elliot Daly's just completely asleep. Another terrible error from Daly. Just terrible fullback play. Good try. 22-14. Jonathan Davis is off. Don't know what's up with him. He was very quiet in the game compared to North. So is his knee right? I don't know. But that could be ominous, to be honest. Looks a shadow of himself. Good England scrum on 51 minutes. They did scrummage all right. Get a penalty, score that 24-17. Then there's a good period of England play, actually. They're in good possession and they're looking good, but then Daly, another poor knock on. And England are desperate for a power carrier in midfield. Eddie Jones's selection, let's just say it, is abysmal. His balance in the back line is terrible. I don't know why I can't see it. It's his obsession with playing Farrell. Okay, and Farrell just doesn't give anything to that backline. If you can have Slade at 13, you have to have a power man at 12. If you insist on having Farrell at 12, then you have to have a power man at 13, or at least someone on the wing, and there's no one. It's just really bad selection. I'm not sure any other rugby coach would balance a backline so badly as that. I'm not sure why Eddie does. Anyway, comment below, let me know what you think. On 60 minutes, so England are actually getting good position here, good chances. They're in the game, huge carry from Mako, but Young switches the play badly back the wrong way, isolates a player, concedes a penalty, and more good attacking phases. Ford's passing is really good, easily the best across the pitch, but North and Zammit are covering very well. Even when May gets the ball out wide in space, he's just cut down so easily. Just looks a fair bit slower. But anyway, in this attack, Youngs eventually spots a gap. It is good attacking phases, and it's a good finish. He's not the quickest, but he does get a good finish here. 24 all, you're thinking, wow, okay, game on, 24 all. But then, things fall apart. Big Welsh maul. Their mauling was good in this game, really good. Sheedy makes a break. Good dummy. I think Luke Cowan-Dickey buys a dummy. He kicks through, but Watson just scrambles back and covers. And Atoje gives a stupid penalty straight in the side of the maul. Very poor. Nice kick from Sheedy. Sheedy gets another good kick, stemming from a good turnover from Corey Hill. Then Genge, I think, infringes on the floor. So they go ahead by 6 points just very quickly. And England actually have Wales under pressure at this point, 17-1 minutes. But then another silly penalty relieves pressure. I think it's a stupid, and then probably another one actually. I think it's 2 in a row. Silly block from Robson, I think it is. Penalty, 33-24. England is still attacking. They're pushing for the game, of course. It's probably gone at this point. Well, or slipping away anyway. Then a crazy period of play. England are actually on good attack, but they just push one past too many. Going for the game. Sheedy intercepts. Doesn't give to Rees-Zammit straight away, so toes ahead. Rees-Zammit easily outgasses England's defence, including May, but can't control the ball on the floor. There's a knock-on from Farrell, I think, scrum 5, and then Wales eventually crash over with Corey Hill to seal a big victory, 40 points to 24. So from 24 all, it went to 40-24 very quickly. Bonus point win for Wales. This is brilliant. This is huge. Even if they don't get the Grand Slam, even if they just beat Italy, they could easily win the Six Nations. So Wales deserve it, absolutely. If you're going to play a lot tidier game, cleaner game, some good performances, some solid performances, they didn't again look scintillating in attack. It is my one criticism of Wales throughout the whole championship, but what they have done is they've done the basics well. They've fought hard, they've covered hard, they've been smarter. Well done them. England, just terrible selection. I'm kind of glad they lost this game again. However, if Eddie Jones continues to pick the same players, he just hasn't learned his lesson. Daly has not been performing well enough to play international fullback. They're carrying Farrell. That balance is appalling. Ford is easily England's best 10. Play Lawrence at 12, and if you have to play Slade at 13, play Slade. I'd probably play Lawrence at 12 and Adogwu at 13. England's wingers, well, Watson's done okay in the last 2 games. Daly and May, completely out of sorts. Malin surely have to go. It has to come in. Youngs, it's just too slow. So Robson may be coming in. Mitchell, I don't know. There needs to be a big shake-up. Hill was quite poor in this game. I thought Curry was actually pretty decent in this game. Sinclair, I thought, looked pretty good. But there's a much better England side out there that Eddie Jones is not picking. Anyway, I'm sure I'll come back with a selection video on that. But Wales march on towards a Grand Slam or a championship, or at least a championship. Let me know what you think, Wales fans and England fans. Let me know what you think. You certainly know what I think. And I will catch you guys next time.